Hello everyone out there, this is Accelerate Tutorials by Sunita Dubey, and today I am here with the poem Keeping Quiet, which has been written by Pablo Neruda. As we all know, the real name of Pablo Neruda is Naftalí Ricardo Reyes Basalto. He was born in the year 1904 and he died in the year 1973. He was born in Parral, Chile in South America. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. The poem Keeping Quiet. Through this poem, he wants to convey to the readers about introspection. Introspection and retrospection. Retrospection is related to some prior incident which has taken place, to learn a lesson from that incident, and retrospection means to introspect for ourselves, self-analyzing, self-evaluation, whether what I am doing is right or wrong. That is the meaning of introspection. So through this poem, he wants us to introspect and introspect because man is greedy in completing his needs. He's always greedy about money, he's always greedy about land. All these things are there, and we also hurt the feelings of others. So through this poem, he wants us to control our activities, and for this he wants us to introspect. So let's start the poem. I'll read it out, and then we will discuss stanza wise, and we will also discuss all the poetic devices which have been used by Pablo Neruda. So now the first stanza. Now I will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Now if you see the first two lines, we will see that they are written in free verses. They don't follow any rhyme scheme. The entire poem does not follow any rhyme scheme. So here, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Here we will is the alliteration because WW is repeated again and again, and then the antithesis is there, which means the opposite, that is count and still. Count means to say the numbers and still means to keep quiet. So this is the antithesis, means the opposite, and it is coming in the contrasting lines. Now in this poem, in the starting itself, the poet is conveying to us that we have to introspect, and for introspection he has referred to the number 12. Now the number 12 refers to the 12 digits on the clock, then to the 12 months, then also to the 12 zodiac signs, and it's not only the zodiac signs, it's also the 12 yogic asanas. So the reference of 12 is that we have to introspect not only for some time, we have to introspect throughout the year. Every time, whenever we want to do some wrong activity, whenever we want to hurt feelings of others, we have to think twice. And there's a very beautiful idiomatic expression also, that think twice before you leap. So that is what he wants us to do. He wants us to introspect, to think whether whatever we are doing is right or wrong. Now I will read out the second stanza. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms too much. Here, face of the earth means the surface of the earth. Let's not speak in any language. Here, language which the poet is saying is the language of disparity, the language which hurts the feelings of others, abusive language. All these are the languages which the poet is telling us not to use. And here, the poet has used an opera because let's not speak and let's stop is being repeated again and again. And he has used pun in the last line, arms, which has two meanings. One means weapons and the other means hands. So here the poet, he is urging to the people to introspect for a while, and introspect when we feel like hurting the feelings of others, introspect when we want to do mindless activities of raising our hands to kill others, to destroy anything. Such activities the poet wants us to stop and introspect for ourselves, think for a while, because if we think for a while, maybe all these fights which are committed, they may stop. So this is why he wants us to introspect. He doesn't want us to speak in any type of language, and he doesn't want us to move our arms too much. Now the next stanza. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Exotic means unusual, strange. Here, without rush and without engine, it is a repetition. Then sudden strangeness, it is a alliteration. Here now the poet wants to tell us that we have to control our activities, and we have to stop this pollution. Without engines, they create a lot of noise pollution, they create a lot of air pollution. So this is the pollution which the poet is talking about. He wants us to stop for a moment and think twice that all these pollutions are the adverse for human beings, because they put the human being's life at stake. So here he wants us to control our activities, to stop for a while and think that all these untoward activities which we are doing, we are in such a rush of earning more and more money. We are in such a rush that we are not looking after our own health. We are not looking after the environment. So here the poet wants us to introspect and think for a while that all these activities which we are doing, is it good or bad? If we think here and we control our activities, then the entire surface of the earth would be a very, very exotic, a very strange place to live in. Now we move on to the next stanza. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Here, his hurt hand is the alliteration. Alliteration because HHH is being used again and again. Fishermen symbolizes the tyrants, the killers, the terrorists. Cold sea, it symbolizes the polar region, and it also symbolizes the cold attitude where people don't have sentiments for others. The whales, they symbolize the innocent people. Now one explanation for these two lines is that the fishermen, they are so wicked, they do not think about the whales. They are only in the hope of earning more and more money. They only want to kill the innocent whales for their own needs. They are so greedy for money. So they are hurting and they are killing the innocent whales. Now the other reference of these two lines is that the fishermen, symbolizing the tyrants, the killers, they are killing the innocent people. They don't have any sentiments for people. Okay, cold sea, polar region, or cold sea also is the feelings which the people, they don't have for others. Now the man gathering the salt, he doesn't have time to look at his hurt hands. His hands are hurt, but he is least bothered about that because he wants to earn more and more money. So here the man gathering the salt, it is referring, or it is symbolizing the man who is always running after money, and he doesn't have time to look at his hurt hands. Means he doesn't have time to look after his own health. He is always in a rush for earning more and more money. So here the poet, he wants us to introspect at this time also, that if we are killing the whales, in that reference we are also polluting the environment. The whales, they are the creatures of the sea, and if you go on killing the whales, what will happen, that a time will come when the whales will also become extinct. So in a way they are creating nuisance for the environment. The man gathering the salt, which is referring to the man who is running after money. Now we move on to the next stanza. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. Now here those symbolizes the scientists, the politicians, the environmentalists, and the warmongers. They are preparing the wars. The green wars refers to the environment, okay, cutting down of the trees. They are the green wars, where people are cutting down the trees for their own use, and what is happening to the environment, they are least bothered. Wars with gas are the chemical wars, and wars with fire are the wars with the various types of bombs. Now these people, the warmongers, instead of creating wars and instead of creating all these untoward activities, they should put on clean clothes. Here clean clothes, it's a metaphor. Clean clothes is also alliteration, because C is being repeated again and again. And clean clothes also symbolizes the purity of mind and thought. Okay, so these people who are creating wars, they should introspect for themselves, that instead of creating wars, they should spread brotherhood. They should have the purity of mind and thought. They should put on clean clothes. Clean clothes here is referring to the purity of mind and thought. Only if they do this, then the warmongers, instead of spreading or instead of fighting or instead of creating wars, they will walk in the shade with their brothers. Here brothers is a symbol of mankind, and in the shade means that they will spread mutual understanding, peace and harmony in the society. Otherwise, what is the use of this war when there will be no one to celebrate this war? There will be no survivors. Survivors are the people who manage to live in the critical or in the crisis also. In critical situations, they manage to survive, to live. So what sort of a celebration it would be? Here it is a irony also, a funny situation, but it is the opposite, because people have to live if they want to celebrate. So here the devices which are used are clean clothes, which is the metaphor, and in the shade, again that is also a metaphor. Now this is the explanation for the 6th stanza. Before the explanation, I will read out the stanza. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we are not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once would do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening our lives with death. Now before the explanation, I'll just explain the meanings. First of all, confused. Confused means to be puzzled or unable to understand. Inactivity. Inactivity means to stop doing your work and to sit idle. That is the meaning of inactivity. Truck means association, to be linked with. Single-minded means only thinking about ourselves, not thinking about others. Then the last 4 lines of this stanza, it is an enjambment. because in this stanza the poet has not used, in these 4 lines, the poet has not used any punctuation marks, any comma, full stop, nothing is used. From perhaps till with death, we will see in these lines, 4 lines, that there is no punctuation. So when there is no punctuation, then such a device is called an enjambment. Now we come back to the explanation. What I want should not be confused. So here the poet is telling us that he doesn't want his vision to be confused. He doesn't want that people should misinterpret his vision. His vision is only to introspect, nothing other than that. And introspect means to analyze for ourselves, to think for ourselves. So he is telling us that life is what it is about. Life is all about living. Life is a challenge. Life is a struggle. And with these things we have to carry on our life in any situation. So that is why he's saying that he doesn't want any truck with death. He doesn't want to associate keeping quiet with total inactivity or with death. And if you see here, single-minded, this is what human beings are. We are all single-minded. We only think about our desires. We only think about our achievements, our goals. And if we are unable to achieve our goals in life, then we become disheartened, we become sad. And sometimes such situation come where if you are unable to fulfill your desire, then you take the wrong step without thinking about your parents, without thinking about the loved ones. You threaten your life with death. So this is the time where the poet is telling us that you don't have to associate keeping quiet with death. Life is a challenge. You have to accept that challenge, and in any situation, whether it is a happy one or a sad one, you have to carry on your life. And we should not be disappointed because of never understanding ourselves. This line, it is a tragedy of life. We never understand ourselves, because men, they are never satisfied with what they have. They are always disappointed, and when they are unable to achieve what they want, then they take the wrong step without thinking about anyone. So this is here where the poet is telling us not only to introspect but also to retrospect. Retrospect means to take the example of a prior situation, a prior incident which has occurred before. So that is what he's saying, and he wants us to introspect at times of distress, at times of disheartened. When you are disheartened, at that time he wants us to introspect. The 7th stanza, perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Here the poet, he has personified the earth because he has referred to earth as Mother Earth, and mother teaches her children the lesson of life, how to carry on life. And here the poet has also said that as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. This is a part and parcel of life. This is the part and parcel where different seasons come. And there's a very beautiful quotation: if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Winter refers to the sad aspects of life, and spring refers to the good aspects of life. Here also on earth also, we see in the summer season, the seeds are buried, everything is dry all around. But as soon as it rains, all these things which are latent and buried under the soil, they all start springing up. So we see that silence and stillness, they prove productivity. So this is what the poet wants to tell us, and he wants us to take or learn the lesson of carrying on life by the earth. This is the last stanza. Now I'll count up till 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. The poet here wants us to introspect now. He is satisfied that he has left a long lasting impression on our mind, and he wants us now that in any situation we should introspect. By introspection, we will learn how to spread peace and harmony in the society, and by introspection we can spread mutual understanding. This is what the poet wants now. So he's saying now he will count up till 12 and he will go, and we will all keep quiet and introspect. Thank you. I hope you liked my video. If you have liked my video, please subscribe, share and like. Thank you.